What's up, guys? It's Tucker from S&S Smithing. Today we're going to be working on plant hangers. Alright? This was going to be a 2 or 3 part video series on making this. The first part we're going to be working on here is the hook part here. We're going to make the hook and the tenon that we will rivet and peen through on the other side to hold it together. The second part of this will be making the backing strip. That will include making our forged heart on the top, making all of our peening, texturing, and then forging our fishtail on the bottom of it, and drilling the holes for mounting it and for the tenon to go through. And then depending how long that takes, that might be the rest of it, like the fit and finish and all that, might be in the same video. But if it takes a little longer, we'll do the finishing of it, where we assemble it and do beeswax coating on it, all that fun stuff in the last video. So come on, guys, let's get working on making the hook part. Enjoy, have a good time, follow along with me on it. Alright, guys, what we're going to be working on today, this is probably going to be a 2 or 3 part video, is these heart style plant hangers I make. If you can see, they got nice peen finish, like here, ball peen finish on them, and then beveled fishtail here on the end, and then a beveled heart up top, and then I use rebar because I like the way it looks with the overall look of it. And then a lot of times if you go to craft fairs and things like that, things like railroad spike stuff and rebar, they sell pretty nicely because people can see what it started out as in it and can see the work that went into it, and they think it's a lot cooler that way. And then we're going to make the hook. So today in this video we're going to get started on the hook for the hanging bar, and how we're going to put it together is we'd have a drilled hole, or a drilled or punch hole depending on what you want to do, but we make a tenon on the end of our bar here for hanging, and then we run it through the hole, and then we peen it over flush, so that way it stays there. That's going to be our plan. Let's get started on it. Alright, guys, well, since we're working on the hanging hook first in this first video, the material we're using is 1/2 inch rebar. I'm going to be using before we draw the taper, we're going to spend some time, knock some of those ridges back into the steel a bit, so that way they're not forming any cold shuts. Then once we get those gone, start working on our taper. Work on our taper. Let's get working on our taper a bit more here. So we'll come back here, bring this back a little bit more to the next heat. Well, let's work on getting a bit more length out of this. Not getting a whole lot, just looking for a little bit. Straighten it up a bit. Let's check it here, from there to there, 6 inches. Alright, we're right about at our length here, where it's going to since it's at this nice black heat, we're gonna hammer it a bit, take off some of the excess scale that's on there, and as we're lightly tapping it like this, we're doing what's called planishing, which is removing any of our hammer marks, because I want this to be a little more clean whenever we go to round it up, which we're going to do in the next heat. We're doing this just like how we have with everything else. We start by knocking down the corners and on every side. Back here a little bit, still got some heat left. Now this one's going to take a couple heats. It's because of the length of it. Now going through and planishing again. Let's make it a little bit more smooth. Alright. See how it's already kind of relatively round versus the hard square we got before? I'll just need maybe 1 or 2 more heats to start getting this to full round. Up here, start at the tip because it's going to lose all its heat first since it's the smallest. Just start knocking down all the high spots. Alright, you can see the tip's rounder now versus back here where it's still sort of squarish. So we'll heat it back up and start moving the rest of the way back down. Back and start rounding up right where we left off. Now, we just got the very base. Now, whenever you're doing rounding, I found most of the time the very base from where it goes from the parent bar into your taper tends to be the hardest to get a nice clean round on. So I'm going to take its own individual heat for this, get this nice rounded up how I like it, and then with whatever heat's left I'll do some planishing on it to clean it up a little bit more. And then once that's done, we will start bending the hook. Let's get finished here, huh? See what I was talking about? You got to get it nice and smooth at the parent bar section. Right like that. I think that turned out pretty good. Alright. Next we're going to do is make a little baby, kind of almost like a scroll, except it's kind of more of like a fold over on the end of the hook here. And then, just that way I don't screw up the bar. And then just kind of bend that up. Here. Yeah, that's what I was looking for. Not an actual scroll, but kind of. Just put a little loop facing downwards, and then we're going to come over here and just bend this down. What we're going to do here is heat it up and then shape the hook. We're going to make like a little scooping hook, like that kind of shape, and not like a full J hook. Alright, now let's get started on bending our hook here. Ball in here. Let's drop down our hook a bit more. Alright, there's our hook for our basket. And just get your plants with the hanging hooks, loop it over that. This, we're going to cut it off with the hot cut at about 8 inches or so, 8.5, and then we're going to forge the tenon once we cool. Yeah, there we go, almost through. Just kind of hold it over the edge here and there we go. Alright, so we've got our hook forged, and all next thing we're going to do is get the guillotine tool out and start making our tenon. It's only going to take about an inch of material to make. Alright, to make the tenon we're going to be using the guillotine tool. That's been coming up in a few of my videos that I built. So we're going to be using some round dies made out of leaf spring. These fit a lot better than those other dies. So we'll just get started on it. Alright, let's get started here. Slim down to where we need it. We had to get it down to about 1/4 inch-ish. I'd like to leave it a little bit bigger so that way I don't accidentally shear it off with the dies or take it too small. Next thing we're going to do is come over to the edge of the anvil and start drawing out our little bit there. And then we'll make our tenon, and then we'll refine the shoulders with a monkey tool. And then that's going to be it for this video. On our tenon here. Separate. Whenever we use the fullering dies to separate the parent bar from the part we're going to turn into the tenon, that'll help us keep our shoulders nice and not just having a taper. Knocking those corners. So now we're just going to finish rounding it up here a bit more. It's a little fat in the middle, so we'll squish that down a little bit while we're rounding it. this around. Let me grab the monkey tool, see how well she'll fit in here. Alright, cool. We're right where we need to be. I'm going to cut off the extra here with the hot cut, and then clean that up, and then we'll start using the monkey tool. Alright guys, so I've been talking about what a monkey tool is this entire video, but I have yet to show you one. This is a monkey tool. It's a piece of tool steel I have a 1/4-inch hole drilled into, and that's what we made our tenon, the 1/4-inch. We're going to slide it in here and then hammer back on this back end here, and that'll help push back any little bumps or whatever and flatten out our shoulder a little bit. This one won't be... Alright, so let's get her slid in here a little bit. Monkey tool, or our tenon's bending a little bit, that's okay. Now this is what I was talking about a second ago whenever I was saying about sometimes you can't get it to hammer so good. Then you just pound it down like this, and it does the same basic thing. Now we're out of heat, so we just gotta knock off this here. Alright, I'll knock this off and come back with you guys in the next heat. Again, another round of this. Getting our shoulders forming nicely a little bits at a time. We bottomed out on our monkey tool here, so that's about as good as we're going to get it for now. Alright, I'll stop the video here, talk to you guys a little bit about it once it cools down and stuff, and then that'll be it. Alright guys, here is part 1 of our plant hanger video. This is going to be 3 parts. This will be the first part, making the hook and the tenon. The second part will be making the backing plate with the heart and the hammer texture and drilling it out. And then the third video will be the assembly and fit and finish. So, here's our tenon. You can see it needs touched up a little bit with a file. I'll probably do that as part of the final video. Alright guys, thanks for coming along with me on this part 1 of a 3-part video. We're making this, remember? Our heart plant hanger. In this video we made the hook section here with the tenon. And the next video we'll be doing is this backing plate here. Forging the heart, all of the peening texture, and the fishtail on the end here. And drilling the holes for mounting it and for the tenon to get peened through. And then, depending how long that takes, it might move on to a third part video where we do the assembling and finish work on it. So, right now it's a very nice matchup. I can't hold it quite so good because this has less parts. Alright. Thanks for coming along with me, guys. Always fun. Alright, guys. Thanks for following me along with this one. Come back for the next couple parts of it. Alright. As always, have a good day, guys. Forge on. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. And if you haven't yet, there's a little bell icon down here. Check it out. I'll put a link to the guillotine tool you saw me using. I've had a couple videos on it. I'll have something probably around here. Subscribe button there. And that's all, guys. See you later.